Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking those massive, headache-inducing ERP implementation guides and turning them into a totally clear, actionable roadmap. Specifically, we're talking about modernizing your Bangladeshi business operations using Odoo ERP. Look, if you've been feeling the absolute strain of running on disconnected, manual systems, well, you are in exactly the right place. Let's put things into perspective for a second. The Bangladesh ICT market is on track to hit an explosive $8.88 billion by 2025. And when you think about the fact that the garment industry alone drives about 85% of the country's exports, well, it becomes pretty obvious, right? Manual spreadsheets simply cannot keep up with that kind of massive scale. Trying to manage that much data by hand is just a recipe for incredibly costly errors. Okay, so here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to cover 1. Odoo in the Bangladesh market, 2. ERP implementation and migration strategies, 3. Ensuring local regulatory compliance, 4. Automating inventory reordering rules, 5. Calculating your safety stock, and finally, 6. Setting up a real-time business KPI dashboard. Let's get right into it. Section 1. Odoo in the Bangladesh market. Let's dig into why almost 40% of Bangladeshi SMEs are actively looking at or already implementing ERP solutions. So, why Odoo? Well, it honestly aligns perfectly with the local business landscape. It gives you enterprise-grade functionality that is absolutely crucial for export-heavy operations, especially in the RMG sector. We're talking native support for multi-currency transactions and managing those complex letters of credit. And the best part? It's built on a modular architecture, meaning you only pay for what you actually need right now. That makes it super cost-effective compared to those heavy legacy enterprise systems. Moving on to Section 2, ERP implementation and migration strategies. Because, having the right tool is really only half the battle. How you actually roll it out is what dictates your success. Your implementation journey is generally going to follow 4 critical steps. First, you start with a really deep audit of your current readiness and requirements. Then, you move on to strategic module selection. Step 3 is the heavy lifting, data migration, which is where you pull all your numbers out of older systems like Tally or Excel. And finally, Step 4 wraps it all up with structured training and your actual go live. Now, if you're wondering why you need to go through all this trouble, just think about the gap between how things are right now and how they should be. In the old manual model, your retail stores literally have to report their stock back to the distribution center by hand. It's slow, and it inevitably causes stockouts. But a real-time automated process that connects your distribution centers, your suppliers, and your retail outlets instantly. It totally eliminates those dangerous operational blind spots. Now, when you're actually moving all that historical data over, you've basically got 2 options. You can either go for the Big Bang approach, which is ripping the Band-Aid off and making a complete, clean switch on one specific date. Or you can play it a bit safer with parallel running. That's where you run both your old system and Odoo at the exact same time for a couple of weeks, just as a safety net to catch any weird discrepancies. All right, Section 3, ensuring local regulatory compliance. This is absolutely vital for keeping your doors open and staying legal in Bangladesh. Look, software is basically useless if it doesn't speak the local language of business, right? Well, Odoo is tailored for this. It automatically calculates that standard 15% VAT, and it can literally generate audit-ready Mushak forms for the National Board of Revenue. Plus, it hooks up seamlessly with local mobile financial services. We're talking bKash, Nagad, Rocket, the whole shebang. Okay, Section 4. Automating inventory reordering rules. Your system is legally compliant, so let's talk about a major operational game changer. If you are managing physical products, the min-max reordering rule is about to become your absolute best friend. It's beautifully simple. You just define a minimum and a maximum stock level for any given product. And when your available quantity drops below that minimum, boom, the system automatically drafts a purchase order to bring your stock right back up to your max limit. No human intervention required. To put that into perspective, businesses that actually utilize these automated reordering rules have seen stockouts drop by a massive 40%. 40%. That translates to fewer missed sales, way happier customers, and just a huge reduction in the hours your team spends manually counting boxes in the back of a warehouse. And honestly, the best part is that you don't even have to babysit it. Odoo has a built-in daily scheduler that runs automatically, totally behind the scenes. Every single day, it cross-checks all your active rules against your real-time stock levels. If something is running low,
It just automatically triggers the necessary purchasing routes. It's like having an inventory manager working 24/7. Let's slide into Section 5, calculating your safety stock. Because you really can't set up those automated rules without getting the local supply chain math right first. So let's cleanly break down the minimum stock formula. It's actually pretty straightforward. To find your perfect reorder trigger, you just multiply your average daily demand, let's say you sell 10 units a day, by your supplier's lead time. If they take 5 days to deliver, that's 50 units. Then you throw in a safety buffer for those unexpected delays, maybe an extra 3 days worth. Add them together, and you instantly have your exact minimum stock threshold. In this example, 80 units. But wait, you also need a maximum ceiling, right? You definitely don't want to overstock and trap all your working capital in a warehouse. So you set your maximum stock by taking that minimum, we just figured out, and adding an economic order quantity. That's typically 2 to 3 times your minimum, and it perfectly balances your order costs against what you're paying to store the goods. Finally, Section 6, Real-Time Business KPI Dashboard. We've completely automated the warehouse, but how does all this underlying data actually help the executive team steering the ship? Well, enter the Business KPI Dashboard. Because everything in Odoo is fully integrated, this dashboard pulls live, to-the-minute data straight from your sales invoices and purchase bills. You can instantly see exactly where your revenue is coming from across different channels. That means no more nagging someone to compile a giant spreadsheet at the end of the month. It is just right there. And you can keep a real-time pulse on your sales teams too. You can look and see exactly what Team A, Team B, and Team C have achieved today, this week, or year to date, mapped directly against their specific targets. It builds incredible accountability and lets management make fast, data-driven decisions on the fly. Ultimately, when you transition away from the chaos of completely disconnected systems into one unified, automated platform, the benefits just compound. You eliminate duplicate data entry, you crush stockouts, and you speed up order processing. And all that operational efficiency, it goes straight to your bottom line. Most well-implemented systems see a measurable return on investment in just 12 to 18 months. So, as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with this one thought. In a rapidly digitizing market worth nearly $9 billion, how much longer can your business really survive running on fragile, disconnected manual spreadsheets? The tools to automate your inventory, stay compliant with local tax laws, and scale up without the growing pains, they are literally right in front of you. So the question isn't whether you need to modernize, it's when are you going to make your breakthrough. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.